Today I'm going to be doing a video focused on the idea of being selective with your medium and using color to tell a story. As an artist, I believe that color is a very important aspect of telling a story about the character that we're drawing. For this reason, two of the drawings in this video are going to go straight to the color so I can discuss the reason behind my chosen techniques, markers, colors, and medium. I am going to talk about other mediums as well, regardless of the fact that I am using only ink and marker in this video. If you are an artist with a different chosen medium, this video applies to you as well. So let's get into it. In this drawing, I am starting with a very delicate ballpoint pen to outline her pose. And as you can see, it almost looks like we as the viewers are kind of watching her at a stop sign or at a street, deciding where to turn or waiting for something to indicate for her to go. And I think this pause in a moment is kind of the pose that I tried to capture, as well as the angle in which we are looking at her. And she also has this very relaxed demeanor and a very delicate kind of arms behind the back, like submissive with the legs together, and it just communicates a lot about her. And if you want to know more about character development and psychology, you can watch my last video where I delve a lot more into these choices. But since I'm doing the entire outline for this part of the video, I just wanted to point out this little part here. Color communicates a lot of the character's psychology. In this case, I'm choosing a very neutral color palette, starting off with some browns and nudes in her socks and in her sweater top. And I think this already kind of communicates her calm and neutral demeanor. Her pose shows that she is very relaxed, and the colors in her clothing are also very neutral and soft. While you're drawing, ask yourself, who are they? Do they wear lighter or darker shades? Cooler or warmer hues? Are they more black and white or colorful? There are many different ways you can implement color to tell a story about your character. The next point is going to be about choosing your medium and using your medium to accommodate the story you're trying to tell. In terms of art, we have many different options in terms of tools, such as ink and markers, gel versus ballpoint, paint such as acrylic and oil, pencil even, and all of these have different techniques to implement, and they all tell a different story. In this case, I used Faber-Castell felt tip, which are very delicate and can create fine lines that are very easily blended. It also has a very soft and delicate appearance as opposed to a block-ended or very sharp defined marker point. If this exact drawing or this girl could have been told in watercolor or graphite, I would have chosen that. However, my chosen medium is the one that was meant to tell her story. And in that case, you should always consider the medium in order to accommodate the person you're trying to draw. In this case, none of the other mediums would have been appropriate for this look. Ink, block ink, would not have worked because it would have been too aggressive and bold, and this look has so many curvy lines and soft edges that it wouldn't have worked. Including pencil wouldn't have worked because color was very necessary, and colored pencil would have been too liney. In this case, I wanted it to be blended and to fill it in. In terms of paint, I didn't want to fill up the background. I wanted to use the white in the background to create edges and light, and I think that this is the only medium that would have been appropriate for this girl. A lot of times it also varies on your ability to use a certain medium, and that definitely affects our style and intentions with our drawings, but that just means that we have more variety of what we can do with that medium. As I'm wrapping up this look, I'm just going to point out some of the final touches on it that I implemented, such as the Pigma pen that I used just to outline some of the defined edges, or wherever there's a very dark place of like a crease or a wrinkle, anything like that, or even like a muscle defined part, I definitely think it's important to use a defined marker just to contrast those details. So this is the first look. With this look, I intended for it to be a more dominating power woman. She's definitely filling up the page, which presents a more dominant position, a lot more powerful and self-aware. She's wearing a very big silhouette, like the button down with the big belt, very tucked in, over-exaggerated silhouette, and also a long fitted skirt. The colors are going to be a bright contrast of light and dark and vibrancy. I have a very, very delicate translucent button-down top because it's the bigger silhouette. A very obvious stark gold and brown kind of equestrian belt to go with the suede boots that meet the length of the skirt about. And I'm just using a very sharp Prismacolor block-ended marker to fill in the belt. As you can see, I'm already implementing very different techniques with this drawing as opposed to the first. The dominance communicated in her larger-than-life pose and her chin being upwards, large hair, gold accents, and a very bright skirt that I'm about to color in is already communicating not only dominance and power, but also maturity and older age. Confidence and maturity kind of work hand in hand in this look, as you can see, because of the bright colors and contrasting vibrant red versus the translucent button down. In the first one, you could tell she was much younger because of the neutral light tones, and it's a much more submissive color story. However, with this dominant red with the button down, you can tell that the maturity and the bright colors show a lot more confidence, and this character clearly has a lot of it. Additionally, these are much more vibrant, intense, rich colors from the Prismacolor illustration markers, and I did use a little bit of the Faber-Castell for the translucent top because I didn't want to overwhelm the drawing, as it needs to be proportional and balanced with the technique. However, primarily I am using a lot of those richer, denser Prismacolors to really contrast and bring it out, and to highlight the edges very sharp and defined of this skirt. outlined a lot more in this one with the Pigma outlining graphic markers, and it definitely brings out so much more contrasting edges in this one because I love the idea of it being a bit more aggressive and catching the eye. So this is the second look. I really love her, and she's very overpowered with styling and accessories, tights, high boots, all this stuff, but I really enjoyed doing this one, and she has a very expressive pose as well. So this is the second look. On to the third look. It is still a very different style and color story than the first two. The first one was like college student waiting at the street, very delicate lines, soft neutrals. The second one was very stark contrast, power suit kind of woman, a bit older in age. And this one is in between the age of both of them. I'm outlining a lot more in this one as I wanted it to be communicated that she is a lot more rock and roll, edgy and graphic and in your face kind of personality. Her pose is foot on the chair, very spunky and short hair with big long earrings and a leather jacket. I'm gonna stick with warmer tones as well because she is on the edgier side. And the graphic edges that I used to outline so much of this drawing communicates a far more aggressive style and personality. And this is one example of how you can use your medium, in this case ink and marker, to communicate more about the psychology behind this rocker, edgy girl. As I'm wrapping up this final look, I just wanted to say thank you guys for drawing with me today, or studying, or drinking coffee. I really appreciate you joining me for this art session, and I hope that I was able to illustrate the idea behind this video, as I am always here to try to inspire and educate other artists, or even just offer any ideas that I have learned along my journey as an artist. If you have any feedback or ideas to share regarding the topic of this video, please feel free to comment below. I always look forward to talking with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, we encourage you to consider subscribing. So be well, be safe, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.